What's going on, YouTube? Today we've got a 2002 Nissan Altima with a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, and we're going to be replacing the cam sensor, so stay tuned. But first, I wanted to announce we've got some Andy's Auto merch now. We got a hat, a shirt, a sticker, a coffee mug, and even a hoodie. You can find these items listed below the video, or you can go to my channel page and you can find them under the store section. If you're interested in supporting the channel while also getting some pretty cool gear for yourself, go ahead and check those out. Now back to the video. Alright, so this is it here. The prop was missing, so I had to use my jack handle to get it up. Anyway, on this one it's actually pretty easy. The cam sensor, I believe, is this one right here. Looks like the connector might be broke on it already, but we're going to go ahead and get that disconnected. And I believe there's a 10mm bolt right underneath here. I think my finger is touching it. Might try to get you down on there. There we go. So there's that. Since the connector's broke, we'll probably have to come in from behind with a pick or something to lift this up. Maybe from the front. We'll just have to see how it goes. But we'll get this unplugged. We'll get that bolt out. And we'll put the new sensor in. Alright, so here's the new one from Import Direct. Looks like the part number is 19-0546. That's of course just if you get the Import Direct one. Let's go ahead and take this out. So yeah, it does look pretty much just like the old one. This side's going to go into the engine, and it uses some sort of magnet or something to keep track of what position the camshaft is in. There's a little kind of like your wheel speed sensor, I think. There's some kind of magnet or something on the cam itself that this follows, I guess, or something like that, and based on the magnetic field that's produced, it will change a voltage given to the computer, and the computer will interpret that as a particular position. And I know I probably explained that horribly, but that's the gist of what's going on here. So we're going to go ahead and get that connector unplugged, and then we'll go from there. So I was able to get that connector unplugged by putting a pick in here and just kind of lifting up on the side that's left. I do believe this one will still click in because it was locked in before and I wasn't able to just pull it off, so that's a good sign. However, if you have something like this on your vehicle, obviously it's best to go ahead and buy a pigtail connector. You can cut it off right around here and then splice your new wires in, or solder them, or whatever you want to do. Or you can actually, if you have the right tools, you can stick them in these pins individually, and you'll be able to actually slide the wires out. And another thing that I'm noticing here is that these wires are frayed, so we're definitely going to want to fix that as well, because that could most definitely have an effect on the reading. So probably going to recommend that the customer get the pigtail in addition to the sensor on this one. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get the 10mm bolt back there out, and we'll pull the sensor out. Alright, got her loosened up. I'll try to spin that out the rest of the way by hand here. Sorry you guys can't see it, but I'll show you once I get it out. Luckily you can just pretty much do everything right from the top here. You don't have to take a bunch of extra stuff off, so I always appreciate those kind of jobs. So here's that bolt. We'll set that down. Then we should be able to just pull the sensor out, which we did. Very nice. Obviously it's going to have a little bit of oil on it. And looks like there's quite a bit of metal shavings on there too. Interesting. So anyway, now what we want to do is go ahead and wipe this area down just a little bit, and then also there's an O-ring on the new one just like there is on this one, so we'll want to apply just a little bit of lubrication to that O-ring as we're installing the new one. You need some new headlights for your vehicle? How about some turn signals? Some that are actually very bright. Click the link in the description below and check out Auxito LEDs. And if you use code AndysAuto, you'll get 15% off your order. Now back to the video. Alright, so I went ahead and just applied a little bit of engine oil to that O-ring, and I was able to slide it into place there, and the O-ring seated. And one thing I noticed about this sensor is it does look a little different than the other one, and as a result, the electrical connector had to plug in upside down. You can kind of see that there. So it still fits. I'm assuming it's still the same one because the connector does plug into it. They just kind of made it upside down, I guess. So I guess if we have any issues, we'll find out here in a minute. But another thing I want to recommend, just a little piece of advice, is don't set your bolt for the cam sensor on the battery, because I dropped mine down there and almost lost it. So don't do that. Go ahead and get this bolt tightened back up now. Nearly there. And if you're using a 3/8 ratchet like I am on this one, you want to be very careful not to over tighten this. I would have used a 1/4 inch on something like this, but the 1/2 inch was closer, so I just grabbed that one and went with it, and we are pretty much there. So that's the new cam sensor installed, all tightened up and plugged back in. Alright, and that's that. Should be alright for now, but I'm definitely going to recommend to go ahead and replace this pigtail connector as well. One, so that it can actually lock in a little better, but two, I'm not a real big fan of those frayed wires. If they touch each other at all, that could really throw off the signal, cause a check engine light, cause all kinds of issues. So we're definitely going to recommend that on the follow-up visit. That's going to be the end of this one for today, guys. I appreciate you watching. If you learned something, leave a like or a comment below. I think this is one of those jobs where even someone who's not a mechanic could totally do this job at home and save a little money having it done in the shop. But otherwise, if you have not already, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're aiming for that 2,000 subscriber mark next. We are well on our way. And otherwise, I will see you next time.